friends and sim historians. Welcome back to another episode of my Victorian Neighborhood Challenge for The Sims 2. I am so glad to be back with all of you, and I am here. I don't have a cup of tea today, but as always, I do have a candle. So let's go ahead and get started with the King family. So as you can see, we have a little bit of sibling fighting happening in the first few minutes of our episode. We've got Ernest and his sister Daisy, who aren't exactly happy, but we actually aren't at the main household at the moment. We are actually visiting the Harveys. So this is Annalise Harvey. Oh gosh, did you see the way she just like snubbed that greeting? My goodness. So Annalise Harvey, her mother is Victoria Harvey. She's recently remarried because their father passed away, and so we were kind of hoping to have an arranged marriage between Annalise and Ernest. However, my Sims have other plans. These two have not gotten along the entire time that I've tried to have them like interact, and if you'll remember from the last time we were visiting with the King household, Ernest tried to ask her to be his girlfriend, and she turned him down in a really beautiful spot with like in the top floor of the library and stuff. So things are not exactly going well between them. You can see that no one is particularly happy. Everyone is sort of fighting. Needless to say, it doesn't seem like the Kings are going to leave here with an arranged marriage between the two. Charles, come on, be nice to your sister. And before I could even catch them, these two actually end up hitting it off in the front garden. So this is Charles. He's not the heir to the King household. He is the little brother, but he makes a pass at Ernest's intended, although let's be real, it didn't seem like those two were going to hit it off anyways. And before I can do anything, they are autonomously kissing. So, okay guys, do you, it's fine. So I kind of have no control over the situation at this point. The Sims have gone beyond my reign and have decided for themselves who they want to be with. So these two they need separated for a minute. Like, we're here to solidify your engagement to Ernest, and you're making out with his brother in the front garden. Like, Annalise, come on, be classy. This is not what we expected from you. So we are also here for Annalise's birthday. She's aging up into an adult, which means she's actually about really close to the same age as Ernest, because we'll see Ernest age up into an adult this episode as well. So this is kind of why I wasn't really wanting Annalise and Charles to be together, because Charles is only a couple days into his teenagehood. So Annalise is a lot older than him. She looks very dignified. Also, this is her stepfather, Craig Ray. And if you're in the Discord, you also hate Craig. But I didn't do this. Guys, stop. Oh my god. And so these two are canoodling. Daisy walks in and is like, oh my god. No. This is my brother. This is awful. Guys, this is not good. So we've got a little bit of a scandal on our hands. Daisy, of course, fills in her parents on what's going on, and there's a whole to-do about it. But we're gonna take a nice We're gonna take a nice calm break and pop over to the Holloway household, where we have our dear sister to Cornelius and Philippa, Georgina, and it is time for her golden anniversary. So if you didn't know, in The Sims 2, if your Sims are married into their elderhood, you can throw them a party that is called a golden anniversary, and it is a lifetime want as well. And so what? Oh my god, is Benjamin dying? How old are you? I didn't think you were old enough to die of old age, but this looks like an old age situation because he's grabbing at the... Oh. This is your golden anniversary. They're having an anniversary party and Benjamin died on their anniversary. Oh, okay. This episode just got a little crazy. Yep. So he died of old age way before I anticipated him to. I'm so glad we threw that golden anniversary when we did. And poor Georgina is trying really hard to, like, keep up her spirits because Benjamin and Georgina had such a loving, wonderful relationship, and it's not necessarily, like, the worst thing in the world for her to lose him, because it's like, you know what, they've lived a really good life together, and she's really happy with the time she got to spend with him. Although, of course, partway through the night, she does end up breaking down a little bit, and it honestly took her longer than I expected to sort of break down about her husband's loss. So that is not exactly how I anticipated this party to go. I'm really sorry, Georgina. That really sucks. And gosh, poor Philippa and her kids are here. I think this is Harrison. I'm pretty sure this is Harrison. All of her kids had firstborn syndrome, at least all the boys, and so they all kind of look alike, which is unfortunate. And so everyone's sort of gathering in the living room. They don't really know how to support Georgina as best as they can in this really chaotic moment. And Georgina is totally trying to ignore what happened. She's reading the newspaper, she's diving into film and literature and just kind of pretending that her husband didn't die. And thankfully, the party isn't totally ruined. We actually have Lawrence Avery and his new wife. This is Augusta, the second oldest daughter of Georgina, and these two had a really rocky start to their romance. Neither of them really wanted to get married, but since then they have really, like, picked up their relationship in such a good way and are actually getting along super well. I definitely expect them to have some kids soon, maybe, because they're just constantly all over each other, and I would love some more grandbabies for Georgina. So I just wanted to show you guys a few of my favorite stills of Georgina and Benjamin Holloway, because they are probably one of the most iconic couples in my neighborhood, with the way that Georgina always has this perpetual radiant smile on her face. I think Georgina has the best smile out of any sim I've ever seen in my life. They just look so happy together, and they just get along so well, and it brings me so much joy. So now, we have some more hard stuff to do this episode. So this is the Sully farm, and this is where Louisa grew up. So Louisa's been thinking a lot after the loss of, like, her last miscarriage and Alexandra, who died as a toddler. She's been thinking a lot about the meaning of family, and really kind of wanted to come back home and visit her family back on the Sully farm. And so she's obviously not exactly taking it very well. Louisa's had a bit of a hard time with postpartum depression and the miscarriage and stuff, but this is her nephew Alston and his new wife Christine. And so Alston recently inherited the farm, actually, because his father, who is Louisa's brother Malcolm, passed away with tuberculosis, and his wife Ivy also died, and his sister Melody also passed away here after he got married. There's a lot to unpack here, and Louisa just wanted to come make sure everyone's okay, especially with the loss of her recent brother Leslie. So this is Leslie Sully, her brother. He married Janie Clark, which is Molly's little sister, and together they had 4 kids. But recently, Leslie passed away in a devastating fire that took out their entire first floor, leaving his wife Janie alone with their 4 beautiful children. So the thing is, Louisa's actually kind of had a really, really hard time recently, so she just wanted to make sure that she checked in on Alston, got in touch with the family that's living, because I think she only has one sibling left, and that's Ellis Sully with the long flowing hair, if you're a fan of him on the Discord. And so she really wanted her kids to get along with her family, meet their cousins, meet their second cousins, and just kind of reattach themselves to the fact that their mother is actually from a much lower class than what they've grown up. It's kind of distant to them because the King children have led a very cushy life. They are the children of the new mayor in town, and their aunts and uncles are some of the most influential families. And meanwhile, their mom actually came from a cow and sheep farm with lavender fields and all of this. So they really do need to get back in touch with this sort of like humble lifestyle from which their close family comes. And Louisa doesn't want them to forget that. She's actually had a really hard time adjusting to like kind of high profile life with her husband being the mayor. And so coming back home, I expected her to feel a lot more comfortable, but her kids are not getting along with her nephew and her niece. So Wilhelmina's not his child, it's actually his little sister. Wilhelmina was born really, really soon after her mother passed away. And these kids, good grief. Daisy, Charles, go talk to your step cousins or your second cousins. I think they're second cousins, but they're honestly all like really upset because the house is disaster. There's trash everywhere. Louisa kind of takes it upon herself to help out with the house a little bit and try to make it a little bit less messy for them. And she also just wants Alston to like take some time to himself because right now Alston and his wife are running this entire farm while he's taking care of his little sister. And like that's kind of a lot to do as a teenager. He's still pretty young and it's really hard for him not to have that kind of family support. So I wanted to show you the family tree here for the Sullys really quick because it's a mess. As you can see, we've lost all of her siblings, Lucy, Malcolm, Leslie, and that like the only sibling she has left is Ellis, you can see there. So her family life has been really, really hard, and we haven't like talked a lot about her upbringing because it's you know, it is important that we talk about it because it's why she's struggled so much. I think being sort of separated from her parents and her siblings probably played into some of the isolation that she felt in her postpartum depression. But thankfully the kids are starting to sort of settle in. They're becoming friends with Wilhelmina here, their second cousin, and like I mean, it is nice to see that Alston and Christine do have a nice relationship and are getting along really well. Christine is pretty young though. She's only recently aged up into a teenager, so she's not a big help around the house. And Louisa just kind of wanted to come say hi to the cows. Some of these cows, oh, what? Oh, all the cows are sick. That's not good. And so she's probably really upset to like come check on the animals and realize that her nephew isn't really stepping up to the plate. She really wishes that she could be here and be more involved, but it's hard to do that because she has like quite a big role with her new experience as being the wife of the mayor. And I did want to show you kind of where this is settled in town. So they're right across from the St. Philip's Parish as well as the St. Philip's Gardens, the schoolhouse. What? Daisy, who are you fighting? Why are you fighting someone? Oh my god, she kicked Ernest's butt. Oh, that is exactly what we would expect out of Daisy because Ernest is a bit of a soft boy and we all know that Daisy is in charge of whatever situation she's in. I don't know why they're fighting. I guess the tension of seeing where their mom grew up was a little bit stressful for them, and so there's a little bit of tension happening there. But thankfully the kids start to recover and like calm down after that interesting experience. But it's rainy season, which is Daisy's favorite. She absolutely loves the rain. She just kind of ends up standing outside in it quite a bit. And I did think it was about time we gave Louisa a bit of a makeover. So Louisa's sort of having a moment. She's had a bit of a hard time with her postpartum depression, like, you know, getting accustomed to her new body post 5 births. And and just like settling into her life as an older adult. She really wanted another kid, but after her last miscarriage, she recognizes now that it's just not in the cards for her, and she wants to, you know, embrace the second part of her adult life. Not as a young mother, but as an educator, an older mother, and someone who's dignified and enjoying her life. And I felt like this makeover really represented that for her, and it's I love her in this dress. I love how she's embracing her body and her hair, and she just looks so great. I'm really happy for Louisa. The kids, for some reason, are all kind of miserable. What is that? Oh my god, now Ernest just got beat up by Marisol. What is happening? Why are you guys fighting? You're supposed to be the family that's like good. So I do want to real quick give them all their traits. So Daisy here has rebellious, perceptive, and we're just gonna give everyone 3 traits. I know technically like Sims 3 it would be 5 for you know, adults, but I think that's a little much for me. So I want to give all my Sims 3 traits. Ernest here is unflirty, sociable, and neurotic. That checks. Unflirty doesn't surprise me at all. And then of course Marisol's a born performer, lucky, and absent-minded. Jeez, I randomized these and they're so good. Why? Why? Ooh, did Ernest win that fight? Ernest finally got a fight. Good for him. So, we decided to actually rush a wedding for Charles and Annalise to prevent a scandal. So both families are, of course, like found out about what happened because Daisy was like, I want nothing to do with these shenanigans, and, you know, kind of told on him, which feels appropriate. What is happening? I can't. I need a minute. Why is this happening to me? I just want to throw a wedding. Just a wedding to prevent scandal. And now we have more scandal happening. Great. So, as you can see, we are having Charles and Annalise get married super, super fast. I really didn't have this planned for either of them, but because they were already caught in a compromised position, they want to eliminate the risk that that could happen again and in a more public place. So these two got married way before I would have normally, because as I mentioned, Charles is only a few days into his into his teenagehood. So it's not exactly a great time for him to get married. I was kind of thinking about sending him to university, but he is a pleasure sim, and let's be real, this actually is probably really appropriate for his path in life. And everyone's over here swooning over Ellis because everyone loves Ellis and his luscious locks of hair. And so thankfully tensions are a little bit down at this wedding. We've got Septimus being silly with Louisa, and a whole bunch of people here to celebrate, including some members of the family. It's mostly family members, to be honest, because they wanted to keep this on sort of on the down low. And oh my goodness, I feel like it's so appropriate that Annalise would just be standing there like, yes, feed me gracefully. Like, she does not seem like a sim that you would want to shove cake into her face. So these two are officially married. We are going to quickly boot them out of the house and get them their own place. They do have some money. So they don't have a ton of money. The dowries in New Whippy are still pretty low. And so I think they each have about 12,500. So they will be able to just start off in the lower middle class, and thankfully because of their connections they will be able to have some pretty good jobs, or at least Charles will in the near future. And look at these two just having a cute little moment in the back garden. And you know, Philippa is out in the garden. She loves to sit out here after the weddings and just kind of smile and think about how many family members have gotten married here. I just... How do I stop the fighting? How? Just how? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, so Ernest and his mom are also like, they actually have a really good relationship, thankfully, and it's so nice to see Louisa smiling and bright and happy and loving her life. She made a plum pudding, and tonight is actually Ernest's birthday. Our heir is growing into an adult. I feel like it happens so fast and I'm so not ready for it. But it's happening, and so they are having some company over. They actually decided to invite over the Jungs. Louisa knows that Bertram's new wife, Della, is new in town, and she also heard through the grapevine that Della grew up on an orchard. And so she really wanted to invite them over, get to know them a bit. Of course, Cornelius was a bit hesitant because his wife does not know that there's a bit of an investigation happening on Bertram because of Bertram's possible involvement in a fire at Mary Jung's house. But thankfully, he's not trying to cause any tension at his son's birthday party. And Ernest is actually chatting quite a bit with Rosabelle, Della's daughter. And look, it's Hiram O'Neilly. I love Hiram. Hiram is so soft, and I love him. I love Della's kids from her first marriage so much. And it is now time for Ernest to age up into an adult. He doesn't look particularly happy about it, but I am really excited to see his facial features, because in The Sims 2, they actually like change and augment a lot when they age up into adults, as opposed to Sims 4 when everyone just kind of looks the same always. Unless you're a child, then you all just look the same, but you know. And I just think it's so wholesome in The Sims 2 with everyone cheering them on and so excited to see him age up and celebrate him. Man, I really love to see these smiles on Louisa's face. And unfortunately, I didn't realize this, but he had a completely red aspiration meter and aged up into aspiration failure. Sorry, Ernest. I don't know what happened there. I thought I had fixed it, but I didn't. And so Louisa and Della are actually enjoying their plum pudding together while all the kids are talking and engaging, and these two are hitting it off thick as thieves. So she's really enjoying talking to Della about their mutual life. Della, of course, is a little bit nervous about talking about her past and her life in Alfreda Isle. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Lady Simmer's blog for Alfreda Isle, this is where Della is from. I'm linking that down below, and you should give it a check out because she's a wonderful simmer. And here we have Ernest. Honestly, he like thinned out around the face like quite a lot. He looks really good, really dignified, and of course, again, he's unflirty, a social butterfly, and neurotic. And so he is chatting with Rosabelle quite a lot. These two are actually like kind of hitting it off. Of course, even if he does have feelings for her, he is a little bit nervous about like engaging in any courtship behavior after being rejected so blatantly and so painfully by Annalise. I mean, she married his brother. And they, oh my god, like at their engagement party, I can't express to you how I'm feeling after this episode. My god. But these two are really cute. Let me know if you think they might make a good couple. I really love Rosabelle's features, and I would be interested in seeing them, you know, maybe merge with the King family. And so we have Daisy outside taking care of some of the plants, and very soon she actually encounters the postal service, who comes by, and they knock on the door and let them know that there is a bit of an urgent message that is being delivered for Daisy specifically. So she grabs the mail and realizes that there is a woman in labor, and Septimus has called for her help. So, you know, kind of enticed by the idea of helping out, she quickly grabs her stuff and runs over to Marcella and Alexander's house. Marcella and Alexander are, of course, Lawson. Daisy just completely gets into the mode of it. She's helping out Septimus. She's having a great time, and she feels so engaged and helpful. And so Septimus congratulates her on a job well done, and she's kind of like, This was great. I'm glad I decided to help out. And of course we have our new fresh little baby, Noemi Lenore Lawson, and the happy couple are so young and so excited, and this is their first child. Of course, the baby happened a little bit in a struggle. She was very preterm, so we're glad that it happened and it went okay. And of course, Septimus is kind of like congratulating her, like, "You've done a great job, my lady." Just like jokingly formal, and Daisy's just like, "Oh my god, stop." Like, I know, it was fun. I'm glad I came. Thank you for talking me into it. And before she even realizes what's happening, Septimus goes in to kiss her, and she's completely enamored by his kiss and doesn't really know what to do because she really didn't expect this to happen, especially in the Lawsons' living room. So that is going to be where we end off today. I hope you liked today's episode, and we'll be back next time with the Jungs. Maybe we'll have a little bit more exploration as to what's going on with this investigation into Bertram. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.